Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Who grew up tall and proud in the shadow of the mushroom cloud? Which now voices can be heard. Just wanna scream it louder and louder. What the hell we fighting for?
Yeah, what we fighting for? You know, how about some truth, justice, and what used to be that American way, not the Boss Hog way. Well, I tell you, Boss Hog, he's got his the police chief, and they're going to do what they're going to do. And, of course, yeah, they believe they're in charge because I got a ticket book, and I got a gun, and I got a court system, and I got a judge right here. This is how this works. We've known that this was going to happen. There was no getting around this coming. I mean, if you'd been following Declare Your Independence since early 2003, we always stayed in touch with Quartzite. And when we would do activism and we would talk about different things and the newspapers that we would do and the campaigns that we'd have, Quartzite got a mention. He got an honorable mention because we could see this coming. We had been through it with Florence, Arizona. We had been through it with Apache Junction. And in the early and mid-90s, man, we got a dose in how city government really works and what the state does with it. There is a much larger plan going on here. And generally, certainly in the Southwest, it has to do with water. They don't tell you that. And don't think I don't know. Hello? I know. Now, the thing is that it always comes down to what's the proper role of government. Protection of the individual rights. And when the individuals start to come up and say, hey, yo, what's up? You know, I remember you raised your hand, you took this oath, and the whole function of government, the purpose, is to defend my individual rights, and you're the ones taking it away. You are the one. On tape, by the way. Hello? So who goes after that? You count on the government to go and protect you? No. It's going to be the people. And I just know if we just kept documenting, if we kept archiving, if we kept the interviews, if we kept accumulating this information, and you go to Freedoms with an S, freedomsphoenix.com right now, and you look at the top, or you go to the Declare Your Independence radio show, you will see this show in there, and we've had in today's archive all the other interviews, all the other discussions with different people on this issue over the years. Why? Because it's great reference material. Now, I want to ask Mayor Ed Foster, how is it that you became mayor in the first place? What got you involved? You're going, I mean, you could not have possibly known it was this bad. But, you know, somebody did, and they wanted you to do it.
When I first came to Quartzite, it was in July, and there isn't a whole lot going on in Quartzite in July.
And what year?
2008.
So this is recent. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was a winter.
Had no
I
idea.
was a wintertime visitor. Before that, Ernie, I was not involved, though. I just came there and enjoyed the winter and left in the summer. But anyhow, I came there in July to figure if I'm going to be a resident of Quartzite, I ought to start in July. I ought to see what it's really like. So I came there, and somebody got me involved. They said, well, we're having a council meeting Tuesday night. Are you doing anything? And I said, no, I'm going to go to a council meeting. And I got there and I looked and I said, well, they can't do that. They shouldn't do this way. It can't happen. And there has this little group in Quartzite called the Citizens Coalition. And so I started going to their meetings, and I started being an activist and getting up at the meeting and speaking and getting told to shut up and sit down. And I was right there like Miss Jones was at the podium many times. In fact, the law that said that they could arrest her was put in place because of me getting up at the podium and speaking, and then they put it in so that they could arrest me, and they didn't get me for that, though. Anyhow, I got doing that. In one of the meetings I was in, I was complaining and doing what I was doing best, poking and prodding, and one of the members of the coalition says, well, why don't you run for office? And oh my God, I got sucked in, and now I'm the mayor.
So you get elected mayor.
Yep.
And you thought that that was going to give you the power to, you know, look at some books.
Oh yeah,
access to some files,
access to the back room.
Yeah, go to the go to the other state agencies and show them what you got. You thought, hey man, the people elected me to do this very thing. Well, what happened?
Well, they stripped the powers of the mayor away, and actually, I was thrown out of the town manager's office by Councilman Winslow, now famous Councilman Winslow, who yelled and screamed and told the chief to arrest Jones.
So physically, he's like grabbing you and pushing you out of the town
no,
manager?
I started to step into the office door, and Mr. Winslow got up and said, "Get the H out of here, you're not wanted here." And he charged at me. I backed off. I wasn't going to cause a physical...
Okay, you got to tell me about this guy. I mean, he's typical. I mean, you start looking at his lineage and where he came from, the people supporting the type of personality this is. You know, I mean, he's the face of government.
Yes, he is.
Okay, now I'm just, where does he come from? Who is he?
He's retired Army. He should know better. When you raise your hand to defend the country and actually promise to put your life on the line for the country...
Constitution.
That's true. When you do that, it has a chilling effect. As a young man, when I did it, it really changed my life. I realized that the seriousness of that oath. But Mr. Winslow, I don't understand how anybody who ever took that oath, and he's taken another oath now to be a councilman, how can he sit there and blatantly, in front of criticism, deny someone's civil rights?
There has to be... There's something else going on, and also one of the other councilmen, because it's like what, 5-1? I mean,
Well, one councilman just resigned so he could run for me against me in a recall election.
Okay, so they've done a recall.
But other than that, it was 6-1.
Okay, so it was 6-1, and they're like, man, we got to get rid of this guy. He's being a pain in the butt. If we don't get rid of him, sooner or later somebody's going to put up a YouTube, and the plant's going to know. Too late.
Too late now.
So now we got a situation to where you haven't really done anything other than want to know what was being done to the people. You're just wanting to get the information.
Well, I started out looking for where the money went. It's always about money. Yep. It's never about anything else. I started out looking for the money. They denied me any access to public records. I asked for reports. They passed an ordinance that says they can't get a report unless the council agrees. Yeah, see, I might have had that authority, but anytime I tried to use it...
Can't you go to the city attorney? Doesn't the city attorney work for the council?
Oh, no. Actually, yesterday, they hired a new town prosecutor attorney, and they changed the law. So now that the attorney works for the town manager, I cannot go to the town attorney anymore without permission of the town manager.
Wait. Here we go. Yeah, okay, pay attention. This is how government works. This is not an aberration. This is what happens. Whenever you get, the good guys, and we're going to, do Campaign for Liberty. We're going to do Tea Party. We're going to do it. We're going to fix it from the inside. Government cannot be fixed, even from the inside. So my thing is, what is the solution? Well, it's a cultural thing. It's a change of mindset. And that's what I'm hoping that we are able to accomplish, not just with this show, but everything that we do. Is that it is a mindset that you have. For too long, they've given government in general, and certainly even the Quartzite government, legitimacy to walk all over the people. What's the solution? Ed's been trying to do this. So what do you think the solution is?
I'll tell you what, there's a situation with this attorney. We had an attorney who was dismissing all these bogus charges the chief was bringing against people. He wouldn't prosecute them. He understood what they were. He was an ethical person. They fired him. And they have hired another attorney who has ethical challenges. He's I guess he's been reprimanded. The Bar Association did not remove his bar license. They did reprimand him for ethical violations. The man, that's the kind of guy they wanted. Somebody ethically challenged.
Of course.
And now he's the one that's going to be prosecuting.
They're top of the list. This is another thing that we found out in dealing with different local governments. What happened is that you would find that the guy that they would hire as a city attorney was city attorney for Florence, another small town, or they came as city clerk from Colorado where they were, scumbag de la whatever. It's a job requirement. They're even suggested by various different organizations and groups or special interests that need to go, you need to get this guy. He knows how to play ball. That's exactly what happens. So there's somebody doing this kind of recruiting. There was somebody that met the minimum job requirement.
The chief is a personal friend of this attorney.
Oh, of course he is. Of course he is. You see where this is going? We got to hold another hour. We just kind of laid the groundwork, but now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty detail. Got the form. Oh, where's the felony? Where's the investigation? Who's going to do it? You know, I'll bet you, there's nobody going to be punished for this stuff because they're not even going to be investigated. I already know where this goes. It's you. It's you. The listeners, the people, the readers of Freedom's Phoenix, and all the people interested in this. I'm telling you, we're going to make sure that this is documented, archived. You want to really know what's going on? It's not just Quartzite, it's everywhere. But Quartzite's a really good place to do it because it's really small and we're right here. We're going to have some fun. You stay right there.